What's up, my man? Love you.
How you doing?
You're the best. Good, good. Yeah.
Oh, who was that?
Jamel.
Oh, Jamel. Yeah. Okay.
We got the monitor today.
Your boy.
My monitor.
And this afternoon, inside the Amica Mutual Pavilion in downtown Providence, Rhode Island, we've got Big East basketball. The Providence Friars and who are we playing?
Who are they playing today?
Is there a game today?
Yeah, is there a game today?
Oh, my goodness.
Fired up outside for sure
Yeah.
before they get in here. But
Yeah.
it should be an interesting game today. Friars trying to get that fifth win, obviously, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of noise in here and the introductions before the national anthem gets started.
I'm quite certain that will happen. So it's the Friars and the Hoyas. This is a game that has been on the calendar, well, certainly since the schedule came out in September, but really in Friar fans' minds, this has been something that they've waited for since that fateful day last March when the control of the Providence College men's basketball program changed hands from Ed Cooley to Kim English.
Yeah, it was a tough time. It was a kind of a shocking time. It was a big surprise. But I think, over time now, people have gotten used to it a bit, but they want to come in here and just display a little bit of anger in this ball game. But, the Friars are in a great spot right now, though. Kim English, who has come in and taken over the reins for Ed Cooley, and he's done a terrific job. You think about they lost their biggest player in Hopkins, and they're still able to come out here and gut out some wins. I think when you look at the whole picture here, the way the Friars are playing and the guys they have on the floor, they're playing good basketball right now. 2 straight road wins, and they come in here now for a home game, and it's going to be a little electric in here today, but hopefully they stay focused on the game. What I'm worried about for the Friar players is they might be so humped up for the game that you start hitting the back rim all the time because you're so fired up, and you want to get into the game flow of normalcy. But the first 10 minutes of the game will probably be a lot of adrenaline flowing.
Yeah, this is a big game for a lot of reasons. Certainly, the biggest reason being the emotion of Ed Cooley, your 12-year head coach, took the team to 7 NCAA tournaments, won a couple of Big East championships during his tenure here. For him leaving, not just the fact that he left, but he left for a interconference rival, and that has never been done. It's unprecedented in college basketball history, certainly in the East Coast, and that's why there's a lot of attention on this game.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, when you leave in conference like that, it's almost like taboo. That guys wouldn't do that. And a guy like Ed Cooley, who's had some great success here at Providence, he probably could have gotten many other better jobs than what he took at Georgetown. I mean, Georgetown's not a good job right now, but I'm sure he he'll get it back to where they not maybe where they were, but he's going to get it going. He'll recruit and do a decent job there. But to do it in the conference, I think that's what really upset a lot of fans.
Well, and we should mention, of course, Chris Beard left Texas Tech for Texas in the Big 12 a few years ago. And if you recall how it was for Coach Beard when he went back to Texas Tech, it was
ugly.
It was ugly. And we do kind of sort of an unwritten thing set by Dave.
The way, it's like, what happened? And then it all came out what happened. And I think that's what really upset people more than anything. And you look at the Final Four last year, John, you had UConn, a team that Friars beat. They won it all. They played Miami. Miami beat them in the Mohegan Sun early in the year, but the Friars were a much better team by a month later.
And just completely dropped flat off the charts in the last month of the season.
Yeah, and you had San Diego State and Florida Atlantic, the other two teams rounding out the Final Four. Now, not saying that those two aren't good teams, but, North Carolina, Louisville, Syracuse, all the teams that normally get into the NCAA, they didn't even get into the NCAA tournament last year.
Right.
And, that was an opportunity to get strike lightning in a bottle there, and maybe you get another Final Four out of it, at least a Sweet 16. But it just wasn't in the cards because of what happened at the end of the year.
And that's why Friar fans will be vociferous toward Ed Cooley, I think, today. Not so much toward his team, of course, at Georgetown or anybody else, but the fact is that the way he left was uncomfortable and for a lot of Friar fans, and they've been waiting for this day to sort of let him know how they feel.
Yeah, and it's a case, too, you look at former coaches who have left here, 3 coaches who have left here for other jobs, Rick Pitino, Rick Barnes, and Pete Gillen. They played out the whole year. I mean, they got to a Final Four, Elite 8, and won the Big East Championship. And 2 of those 3 guys are going into one's in the Hall of Fame already. Rick Barnes is going into the Hall of Fame this year. And Pete Gillen, he could be in the discussion someday. And Dave Gabbard, when he was done coaching, he became the Big East commissioner. He left the school, but now he's in the Hall of Fame. So you have 3 of those 4 coaches who went to other jobs, made the Hall of Fame, not the school's Hall of Fame, the Naismith Hall of Fame. Yeah, so, right. If you finish it out, you have a contract, and if you finish it out the right way, and people don't have a problem with that. But when what happened last year, I think, wasn't something that everybody could agree with.
All right, so while we know it's going to be emotional today, we can tell you already there are Big East officials here. There are extra security in the building anticipating any kind of problem that may come up. We've already been told here that first time something gets thrown on the floor today will be a warning. The second time something gets thrown on the floor today, the game is over.
Oh, wow. Well, that's pretty drastic. So we can see that happening.
I mean, the boos are starting already because Georgetown is leaving the floor, and I think it's fine. It's okay to get emotional. It's okay to be a part of it. This is why we do college sports, because of the emotion involved here. And this means a lot to a lot of people around here. But there are also, and we're not going to preach here, but there are also, I think, limitations that you need to understand. Look, this is just a game, and we need to move on with things. And Providence College is going to move on. I know everybody's happy with Kim English and his staff. Georgetown's going to move on. They're happy. They've got a fresh start as well after having, 2-44 in their last 46 games of the Big East. So it hasn't been terribly successful there either. They've got to be happy with moving ahead, and that's kind of the way we need to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's, eventually you're going to get to the basketball game, and that's what you look at. I mean, and then you're, Friar fans and you and I looking at it, want the Friars to get to their 5th win, get 5-4 in the conference.
That's all that matters right
now.
Got
UConn on Wednesday, and, this game here. But, you just mentioned how that drastic move is something. Second time gets thrown on the floor, the game is over.
That's what I was told before the game.
I don't know if what's Fox going to do with that?
I'm sure they'll spend a lot of time talking about it. That's for sure.
They basically control the contract and what's going on in their time. But I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully I don't think any fans, grown-ups are going to throw anything on the floor. But we got to worry about the students who are at both ends of the court.
Let's do that. And shall we talk about the game as well? Because Georgetown is just 8-11 of the season, only 1-7 in Big East play. Their one win over DePaul. But Ed Cooley and his staff, being the former Friar coaching staff as well. You have Jeff Paddle, you've got Ivan Thomas, you've got Coach Blaney as well, all a part of that. You've got LaDante Hinton and Kyron Cartwright on the support staff as well. Former Friar players, of course, that are there. So, they got to be a little anxious to show off well here today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they want to get better, obviously, and it's just a rebuilding year for Georgetown. They've been in a few games games. They got beat 92-91 by Xavier, and then 66 points to get blown out at home by Butler. So it's a tough league, and that team. I mean, some guys show up to play, some guys they don't play very well. But it's a work in progress for him. And with Kim English, I mean, he's got these guys playing good basketball. They won 2 straight road games. They've adjusted to Bryce Hopkins not being here anymore, and they need to keep getting better as a team and getting confidence out there.
And that starts today with the Georgetown Hoyas. We'll visit with the head coach of the Friars, Kim English, coming up next. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. You all set with that, Tiffany? Okay, good. What do you want to do for a matchup? You want to do Carter on Epps?
Maybe I think their most consistent player for Georgetown has been Supreme Cook.
You want Supreme Cook and then Oduro?
Oduro, yeah. Let me take my glasses off, man.
No, I got to have mine on.
Come on, man. All right.
Yep.